Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil, episode 140?
Yeah, actually, that's exactly it. I actually didn't tell him ahead of time. He usually
Just
asks
to
me beforehand so that he can look cool in front of you guys. I didn't tell him anything this time.
That's why I had confident delivery on it. This is the show where we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge. We show you what we're working on, some of the challenges we're facing, and perhaps give you a glimpse of the future. Mostly it's a show where we hang out for the next 2 hours and enjoy a frosty beverage. I remembered him this week while we talk tabletop. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
A lot of headroom today. Yeah, so you go to keep talking.
And no technical. This is the show that has no technical issues like me kicking the camera a few minutes before we go on. Does that count as a technical issue? I don't know. All right. Welcome aboard. What are we doing tonight, Chris?
Hey, so we're going over just kind of like plans. I mean, we got updates on our pledge manager stuff. Well, Lowtown that like he just showed. We got some new test shots. My audio's a bit quiet. Not for long, baby. Let me turn this up. Yeah, we got some updates, some new test shots from Lowtown. I was gonna keep churning this up until I'm peaking the red.
Yeah. Hit the red.
Yeah, we got some new test shots from Lowtown. We got some updates on the Starforge Pledge Manager launching tomorrow. And then we want to talk about Dungeons Reforged as well. We got some updates on how that's been going.
Woo!
It's canceled. So that's the thing. We want to cover all three of those topics today. And then we're going to be giving away $50 Dwarven Forge gift card.
$50?
Roughly $50 whole dollars.
What do you have to do to get
It's free money.
Is there such a thing? Free dwarf money?
It's free Dwarvenite. Yeah, he doesn't know what I'm referencing. It's fine.
I thought you were just like shady dude in an alley.
Kind of. All right. So, yeah, we're without further ado.
What do you have to do to win $50?
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you when it's time.
Okay. So do you hear that? Chris will tell you when it's time. Just stay tuned.
Yeah.
And
just
is everybody's eligible? Everybody in the world?
Everybody that doesn't work
Can
for
my
Dwarven
kids
Forge.
work? Okay.
Everybody that doesn't work for Dwarven Forge.
Woo!
Or is related to somebody who works at Dwarven Forge, I suppose.
Yeah. Our rules are soft.
Yeah. No inside betting.
Didn't Mace's dad win once?
I can't remember.
No. Yeah.
I think he won one of the non-gift card giveaways. I think he won
he won
one of the prototypes or something where we're like, well, that's fine. That's above board, Sad no. You did it. I thought you got something. Maybe Mace just sent you free stuff anyways.
Just he wins pride. He has
yeah, that's fair.
Pride in the company.
Cobblestone battle boards look sweet in the update. They'll look sweeter in person. My pride. Is Mace your pride and joy?
At least
put him on the spot.
Pride.
Yeah. All right. What else we got? That's basically it. Huh?
Yeah, engage. If you're new, if you're old, if you're whatever, obviously you're welcome to lurk, but also hop in the comments. We love seeing it, love hearing it. In fact, I just learned that we've been doing this for 4 years. Based on the comments.
Over 4 years. Yeah, it's we've been doing it like 50 months at this point.
I literally thought we just missed our 2-year anniversary, and I was like, oh well, it's a bummer. We'll maybe do something.
No,
cool for free.
The 1 year streaming anniversary mega event was over 3 years ago.
Feels like it was.
We haven't done anything.
But anyway.
I mean, this year we were running. Well, the last 2 years we've basically been running a campaign through the anniversary period, so we just kind of been prioritizing that.
It's wild. Well, thanks, Happy Hippo, for reminding us that we've been going forever by subscribing for 49 months.
Yeah,
That's
we've been here for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, the 4-year anniversary was a couple months ago. Is the thing. We got to do something for 5 years.
5 years. That's at least 3 years from now.
Assuming we're still here. We got to do something for 5 years.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like a big.
Do we have? Is there a point going to a news segment? Do we got news? What do we got going on? We do have a little bit of news. All right, hang on a second.
Turns out we do.
Yeah.
We've got news.
Yeah, the best part is definitely when you just hit the table right in front of your lob. That's probably fine.
Hey, it's the news. What's in the news, Chris?
Hey, our website's broken. I'm sorry.
It's the worst news ever.
Yes, as some of you have probably noticed, the website has just been not loading for a lot of people, and we've been working with Shopify to try and figure out what's going on. It is not going well so far. We don't know what the deal is. It's not affecting everybody. We're not able to replicate it. We have not been able to narrow down what the actual like cause is.
But it's there.
Yeah, we are working with
It's real.
Shopify on it. Because of that, the restock has been pushed back. We had a restock planned for this Tuesday, and we
'Cause-
pushed it back till next Tuesday.
Because imagine if we launched a restock and a bunch of people couldn't get on, and maybe
Yeah.
some stuff sold out, and like it would be. Yeah.
We just don't want to deal with like 100 people getting to the website and finding out that they can't log in then, you know? Like people have been relatively chill about it, but if we if we there's a lot of people who only check in when we have things like restocks, and if they find out about it on restock day, it's like we're just going to get a lot of people upset that don't need to be upset.
It's a feel bad for no reason.
Yeah.
So instead, make everybody wait.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do, if you need something urgently, I guess is another thing. If you need something urgently, contact customer support and we can work out the purchase and stuff that way.
I think didn't Jay have have the specific email service@dwarvenforge.com for this?
Potentially. Chuck's in chat.
so. Chuck
MC Crime Dog is Chuck. He's one of our top customer support guys. He can tell you like what the deal is. But basically, if you do like need an order now, if you got like a game coming up or something and you want to put an order through now, if you contact customer support, basically we can go through that.
We can manually
we can handle it. And if it's not fixed by next Monday, we will probably push the restock back again.
Definitely.
Just because, we don't want to do that restock until we can count on the site working. So we're trying to figure that out. Shopify has been looking at it for a while. Clearing cookies. So clearing cookies doesn't fix it. What it does is it seems to be that when you log in, that's when, for some reason, for some accounts, when they log in, they can't look at the site anymore. We don't know why it's happening to some accounts and not others, and it's why we haven't been able to like do anything about it yet. So if you are
See us.
unable to see the site at all, if you clear your cookies for the site and you get logged out, you should be able to browse it again at least. Just don't log back into your account until we fix it, because it seems like everybody who was having the issue, when they did get logged out, it would happen again as soon as they logged in. So that doesn't like fix your account.
And it knocks off your wish list and all that stuff.
And we've been passing in we've been passing on like all the information that people have been giving us to Shopify. So we're hoping that they narrow it down and figure out what's going on soon.
Yeah, it's lame.
Just currently, we don't know why it's happening yet. So that's that so far.
Hey, do you know what
yeah.
you could spend your money on though? Oh wait, I'm skipping ahead. Something that goes live tomorrow. But what else do we have in the news? Yeah.
We could tell them about. So I have like a lot of bigger discussion topics, and then I don't know. We could drop the link for the new video if you want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it live?
It's unlisted. I was gonna set it live
Ooh,
once
secret.
the actual pledge manager is up, so that way people get the notifications and get reminded about it when the pledge manager is up.
Why don't we put it out after? It's a 30-minute video, so maybe we put it after the show's over.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not like a quick 30-second thing you can watch by way.
Well, I posted. Yeah, it's a quick thing. I'll post it now for like you can open it in another tab and have it ready or something if you want.
Cue it up.
It's a video going through all the stretch goal pieces, basically, and all the ways it goes very in depth on every single.
35 minutes worth of in-depth. Just on
Yes.
5 sets. Like it's wild.
It's basically letting you know everything that each of those stretch goal pieces can do. So it's pretty involved. But if you've had questions about the domes or the cockpits, stuff like that, check out that video.
LED walls.
It goes LED walls, window walls. People have been wondering like how
Turbine.
much can you actually do with like the LED and window walls.
Show
They
you.
can actually do a number of cool things. There is more to it than just being used like a wall. Yeah, that's basically that. I think it's all the news. Yeah. You want to get into test
so what
shots?
happens tomorrow at high noon?
Hey,
Eastern Standard
The
Daylight
Starforge
Mountain
Pledge
Time.
Manager goes up tomorrow at noon, U.S. Eastern Time. Basically, it's going to be live. You'll be able to add things to your pledge, adjust your pledge. We've got a couple new things. We've got a couple new things that are going to be there. A bunch of paints. Well, 4 paints, really. Including 2 paint bundles. One built around the catwalks and pipelines. One built around the core sets. But we'll also be selling each of those paint bottles individually as well.
Yes.
So if you want to get any one of the paints, this includes Sassoul Silver and Gorgon Bronze, metallics that we have not
We
restocked
haven't had
in
those in a
years
long time.
because they've never been important paints for us. They've been just kind of accent pieces, and we were like, well, you can just
like
use
a
any
tiny
metallic,
bit, yeah.
and we don't want to So it wasn't a big thing. With the catwalks and pipelines straight up being an actual core system that uses metallics now, we're just gonna actually restock them. So they'll be in there. Deep Lava will be in there because that's like the base coat color for the core pieces. And then we made a new mix, the mix that Hamster made, that kind of blue gray, what we call bunker blue. It's going to be a new paint color. We'll be offering it both individually and in the core paint bundle. We're also going to have a new all-in pledge called Outpost Alpha.
Well, this was because you guys asked for the paints too.
Yes.
Like this is, we're putting this in there because there were requests. So don't say we don't listen. Actually, I don't think anybody says we don't listen ever.
I hope not.
I think because we listen maybe too much.
Yeah, we sometimes
listen?
make mistakes because we listen. So yeah.
So enjoy those paint bottles and buy them.
Yes, please. What else?
We had those 2 new bundles: Explorer and Outpost Alpha.
Yes, the Outpost Alpha is going to be. It's huge. It's like twice the size of
You
the
guys
all-in.
want to hear you want to hear the components of the Ultra All-In?
I don't know if the components are going to be.
Well, here's
It's going to take a long time. It's going to be the next 5 minutes.
Just the sets.
Just the sets.
Yeah,
okay.
So it is so Tyler agonized over this a while, and we kind of pushed it around in a bunch of different directions. But the goal was to collect everything that was in the campaign, and have it in a meaningful grouping so you could actually do something with it. It wasn't just like one sculpt of everything, but it was a toolbox that's actually a good toolbox for building pretty much anything you can in space. So it is 4 Alpha Core mega sets. So the bulk of your bread and butter building pieces, 4 of those mega sets, and 2 bunker mega sets. Bunker mega.
Are they bunker builder megas, or are they?
They're bunker megas. I thought they were bunker builder megas, but it's just as bunker mega. I don't know, but whatever. Bunker mega builder. Man. So there's 4 core megas and 2 bunker megas. So that's like
Rubber baby
a
bunker
whole
bumpers.
yes.
Yeah.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, there's also 1 bunker builder thrown in there for just a few extra corners and barricades. And there's 3 advanced core sets. So that gives you like all your core pieces. Oh wait, no, plus 3 floor sets. All right, so those are all the core pieces. 3 floor sets, 3 advanced core sets, 4 mega core, 3 bunker builder, and 1 bunker builder. That's a lot of core bits. Then you've got 2 each of the interior and exterior dressing packs. So you got a bunch of scattery dressy bits to make it all look awesome. 3 barricades packs. This is on top of all the barricades that already come in the bunker
the bunker
mega
sets
and the
come
bunker
with,
thing.
yeah.
So that you can have like 30 barricades. It's a bunch of barricades. 2 Alpha Portals packs. So these are some extra doors because the bunker mega doesn't come with any doors, and there's the bunker, so it's sort of filling out. So you just have some extra doors in case you're doing a whole bunch of interiors. You can do like massive, the whole deck of the Enterprise or whatever. You can do a big old interior build. You've got yourself 2 barracks packs, so you got a lot of bunk beds if you need them. You've got 1 of the artillery objectives packs, so you have even more of the tri-barrel plasma cannons. So there's a bunch of those in there. You've got, what is this? The mega, I think it's 3. Yeah, it's 3 catwalk and pipeline mega sets, plus an extra core set on top, just for a few extra of the 2-inchers and the corners. So that is a lot of pipelines to play with, like a very robust collection. 2 of the dynamo turbine packs, 2 of the LED wall packs, 4 of the window wall packs. So it's once again a bunch more, the specialty core bits. 2 cockpit sets, 4 Zenith hip dome packs, so you can make 2 complete 4x4 domes or 1 sphere, or break them up into corners or whatnot. And then 4 of the Starfield/Scarred Planet terrain trays, 12x12. 4 of the regular alien planet and tech floor terrain trays, and then 2 of the 6x12 terrain trays. So it is so big that Casey and Sil put it on the table. packing all the pieces together, like stacking them up. It filled a 4x4 table, not including the terrain trays, the biscuits, the end caps, and I don't know, a couple other pieces like texture patches and whatnot.
There were a couple things where instead of laying out like 256 end caps, it's just going to be like, let's just
No.
put a picture of an end cap times
times-
250. Yeah.
yeah.
That
And
and
this,
the
was,
biscuits.
this isn't
Yeah.
isn't built. This was just everything packed together just to try and get all the toolbox on the table.
It contains more pieces
We didn't have enough.
than we actually have
Yeah.
for prototypes. Yeah,
They had to leave notes for Letitia, like shoot to this, so you have to comp this bit together because we don't have enough floors to fill that or whatever. It was a thing. But it is a heck of, and it's what it was like. What is the final pricing?
it's like
4,500,
4.4, something like that.
something.
Yeah. It's around twice the large build or the large bundle. It's around twice the large bundle, and it's the biggest discount out of anything, obviously.
47.80, I believe. That was the last one on the spreadsheet. I don't
It's
know.
in the Tyler put the prices in the last Game Found update. So if you really want to know right now, if you check the last Game Found update, he's got the info in there.
It's roughly 4,750 painted and 2,900 unpainted, roughly.
Yeah. It's
Somewhere
a
around there.
big.
Yeah,
And it's got the biggest.
It's
got the
awesome.
It's got the biggest discount. If you want that much sci-fi, that's definitely like the best deal. You may not need that much, but
It's a lot.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's
if you don't want to have to think about building the perfect place, just get that and you got everything. Everything, the
Yeah.
whole campaign, you get everything right there. Boom.
I do think it was funny. I think it was. I think like looking into it, I think it's still not enough diagonals to make the Millennium
Millennium
Falcon the way
Falcon.
that Miles. Well, because Miles used he used a lot of diagonals where you wouldn't necessarily have to use
There's
diagonals.
like 60 diagonals
It was
in there.
yeah,
It's like,
it's an unreasonable amount of
we
diagonals.
ran out of diagonals. Like he was like,
A lot of the spaces, because a lot of those diagonals he used like filling in like the empty space, and it's like, well, this isn't even actually playable here. And you could just put, or he could have just put like a regular corner there, and it would have been fine.
no, it's got to.
Yeah,
That's
I-
why
yeah,
Miles
I
is
get it.
awesome.
Yeah.
There's also the Explorer Mega Pack, which rounds up all of the stretch goal packs into one place. So if you got like the large bundle and you want all the stretch goal things that aren't part of that bundle, you can just get the Explorer Mega Pack, and that gives you one Dynamo Turbine pack, one Alpha LED wall pack, two window wall packs, one cockpit pack, and two Zenith Hip Dome packs.
So that actually made it into the campaign before it closed.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Because we got all the things
the
unlocked.
only things being added
Right.
that weren't added before the campaign closed are the paints and the
the
Outpost
all-in.
Alpha bundle, and then that extra cash. Although none of the caches were technically added before the campaign closed.
In fact, they won't be there when the pledge manager opens. You'll have to do a second round of
Second
pledge
round,
manager.
yeah.
So after you collect, finish your pledge, you hit submit, whatever. Then a couple of weeks later, we'll send out the thing. Say, okay, now you can go pick your free.
How does it compare to two large bundles? It's probably very easy to compare it in the spreadsheet when that's live, and I don't want to do that right
It's less. It's less stuff than two large. It's cheaper than two large. It's a little bit less. It's tailored more, and it has the trade trace. It's sort of tailored to be the sort of perfect collection in and of itself. So you get higher multiples of specific things if you double the large, but lower multiples on some of the things you might want more. If that makes sense.
Two large bundles don't have all the stretch goals, though. True, it is also that. It comes with the stretch goal pieces. Ultimately, like what the better option is going to be is just based on, and that's how it always is. It's just based on what you want to build.
What do you want to build, and what's your budget?
Yeah. The Outpost Alpha pledge is basically I just don't want to think about it.
Yep.
I just want to drop the money and have everything and like a lot of
Like
everything,
everything.
and not have to think about it.
Everything. We got everything.
Yeah.
Like all of everything.
Yeah, so that's happening tomorrow at noon.
Woo.
The video I posted earlier will go like public on YouTube once the pledge manager is open. And then we have a couple other things, mostly gameplay oriented, planned to come out over the course of the pledge manager, which we plan to run through mid-June currently.
So there's gonna be like fun drip, drip, drip along the way, right?
We're gonna try to keep doing some fun, interesting things. Still doing some sample builds, still seeing what people are like curious about, and trying to cover that. Obviously, we aren't gonna do daily updates like during the campaign. We're not gonna be streaming every day like during the campaign, but we're gonna keep paying attention and trying to update things.
Speaking of sample builds, there's more sample builds. Letitia put up a gallery of sample builds that'll be, I don't know, I guess we'll put it in the update and we'll put it on the page, whatever. But there will be some more sample builds to give you some ideas of some of the things you could pledge for.
Jen Watson, what I would do is I would just use the spreadsheet to check the large bundle versus, to just check what you were going to do versus the Outpost Alpha and just see which you prefer.
Well, you get a better discount on the Outpost Alpha.
It definitely is a better discount.
Start with that and then add a couple packs if there were things that you wanted or whatever.
It's definitely, but it's just, depending on how specific you are about what piece setup you want, like, you'll have time to, like, figure it out too and compare things and all that. Yes. Push the late pledge thing. It's available this time. Yes. We're going to have, like, you're going to be able to just come in and late pledge at any point. So
anybody, right? You can just walk off the street and just show up in late pledge.
That's part of the reason why we are going to keep dropping content and everything during it as well, is we do want to keep the campaign alive. We're going to be running ads. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff to just keep it going.
It should be fun.
Yes.
Does anybody have questions about the pledge manager?
If you have any, go ahead and ask, and we will handle it. You know how popular the completionist districts ended up being? Oh man, in Lowtown, I
don't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, the problem is also that people could cherry pick them. Not the problem, but like it wasn't just like one thing. We got everything. It was those 3 different bundles plus the 2 different roof options and things. So it was like a kind of a messy.
It's buried in.
I'd like to speak to your.
It's buried in a spreadsheet somewhere.
Yeah.
Like a PDF. Let's see. I'll see if I can find it, but it's orders.
That feels like 1,000 years ago too.
It's hey, it was a really big thing.
Oh, that's a good question. Finley asked if all the pledge manager credits were added.
In case anyone asked about those, all the people who won those stream giveaways have been reached out to and sent basically we sent them the gift cards and said, hey, if you want this to be put in the pledge manager, let us know, and we'll put it in there. I think everybody's been reached out to about it. If you haven't been reached out to about it, let me know, and I will figure it out. Is the spreadsheet live yet? I don't know if the live version has been updated with the Outpost Alpha bundle or if it'll be happening tomorrow. I can check that real quick. Worst case scenario, it's going to be updated with it tomorrow. Software's back for Randy's spreadsheet isn't going to have it yet.
Hey, guess what? I just found a typo on our battle board.
Yeah. Well, good thing it's not the final version.
Yeah.
Good thing it's just a test shot.
Woo! This is why we do test shots.
What's the typo on it?
Battle board 2 words instead of 1.
That's fine.
No, it's a thing. It's a word.
That's fine.
Not at all.
It's not a big typo.
It is. It's literally not the name of the product. It's not a battle space capital B board. It's a battle board 1 word.
Do you think that's the biggest issue when we some of the stuff we got in our store that made it to final production with the crenellation battlement debacle and the?
But it is wrong. It's not the biggest problem we've ever had with a thing. But they're adjusting the bottom anyway.
I'm just saying the standards have risen. I'm just saying there's some stuff that got through to the store that has much bigger issues than that.
Well, back when we didn't have quality control. Yeah.
It looks like it's not on Tyler's sheet yet, so it'll probably be updated tomorrow with it. All right, what's the crenellation battlement debacle? Oh man. So
the colors.
Well, God, yeah, the color thing first off, but it was also in cities. These pieces were made to be kind of battlements to turn your stone buildings into castles by putting battlements on top, and so it was called like the battlements pack and stuff. Then castles, the next campaign.
But here's the best part: the pieces were crenellations.
But the
pack was a battlements pack.
The next year, the next campaign, you decided to also make battlements, which do the same thing as crenellations, but are slightly different and they function differently.
Well, they're big.
They have a different shape.
Battlements with a 1-inch overhang. Like they were like.
And those are Yeah, and so those were called battlements.
Yes.
And so then we had crenellations and battlements, but the packs with crenellations in them from the first campaign were called battlement packs. And it's a whole thing.
It was very confusing.
We've changed the names since, but it was an
So
issue.
crenellation pack is now crenellation
Let's look
pack,
at test
and battlements are battlements.
Yes, let's look at test shots.
Um,
What are we looking at here?
this is a big beefy boy. Look at this.
Yeah, so that is Dwarvenite, yeah?
This is the 12 by 12 battle board, one word, cobblestone textured battle board, right? The cobblestone battle board. It is a full and glorious sculpted hunk of Dwarvenite, and it doesn't sound as impressive as it should. It's like it's got heft, it's got texture, it's got like everything you could love. Like it's the problem is, here's the problem with this. Everybody's gonna be clamoring for more styles of these. This is the most expensive mold we've done in ages.
Guess we should make a bunch more of them.
Yeah, but it's amazing. So it's full traditional Dwarvenite, the more rigid. There's like 3 different blends, not to be confused with Gorgonite, which is the ABS. This is like real Dwarvenite, so it feels great. It has that texture. Oh, look at that! Like, look at that texture. This is
You can see the way the light's catching all the different like raised bits.
It's just delightful.
So what makes this different than a normal 12 by 12 floor?
It's sculpted. It doesn't have metal. It's heavy.
Well, that's the thing. So what makes it different from just like a 12 by 12 Dwarvenite floor?
Oh, nothing. It's just 12 by 12. But there is no 12 by 12 floor. This is essentially a 12 by 12 floor, right? We've never gone full 12 by 12 in Dwarvenite. Like this. It's everything you could ask for, sculpted 12 by 12. Oh, it just feels like, I can't even explain how good it feels. Like the elevation platform, yeah, that was ABS, so it doesn't have quite the same texture to it, and it wasn't solid. Like this is solid. It's got the magnets. It's so this will have anchor magnets here, and then we're adding some feet on the bottom because this is like off the right. This is recessed by, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch or something. So if you do the sorts of nonsense we do, like put 14 stairways of violence stacked up on top of this, whatever, it'll start to probably sag a little bit in the center. So putting a couple of feet there, so keep the center up. And then if you loft this up on stilts, you could put a stilt in the middle there to hold that up in case you want to put a big castle tower on there or whatnot. It's really, I can't wait just to have a painted version. I can't tell you, it's like just something about the it just feels really good. And you can sort of see in there, it's got ribs inside so it won't warp. It's thick, it's heavy.
Is it it's like over like an ABS frame or something?
It has ABS under the this is ABS. Although this feels like Dwarvenite also, or maybe the frame is inside is ABS.
It looks like the frame is inside. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what witchcraft they use. Sides maybe are ABS. I think the outer frame is ABS, and then the inner is Dwarvenite. But it's all that matters is it has the heft and that feel, like the Dwarvenite feel on the top. And then check this out. We'll come in here.
There's no post holes in the bottom, no.
No holes, just magnet. Is it a sculpted 4x4s? Look at that.
Builds directly into the smaller floors. So if you need to cover, like if you're doing like a big cityscape and you need a 12 by 12, like,
or a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really it's what you need. Man, it's cool.
Any plan on revamping the current Wildland battle board into this, or are those safe for a while?
Not in the immediate future, but yes. Yeah. Now that if I have this, I just want battle boards of everything. Like it's wild. Yeah. You just slap this down and you suddenly have boom and whole coverage. Look how big this is. 4 of these does what a battle mat does, but actually looks cool.
Well, I'd say they're different things.
Hey, Alpha Stream's here.
instant test
Yeah, they
play.
are. They are
Yeah.
certainly different things, but it is like anyway. This battle board is very. I'm very very excited for this thing.
Different biomes is not all as flat as this. Yeah, if we're doing like a forest one, it would be a much more complicated sculpt probably. Like
Yeah.
if we're trying to keep it as detailed and looking like our sculpted forest floors, it would be.
It would be a lot of sculpting, but it would be worth
Yeah.
it. You know those big flat areas that you need, like
Also feels like it would be much more expensive to cast probably.
a literal town square. Yeah, agree. This
Battle
is
boards different from terrain trays? Yeah, battle boards are super different than terrain trays. Terrain trays are just a thin sheet of metal with neoprene fabric over them. The battle board, like, this is sculpted material. It's thick. Terrain trays are very thin. They do different jobs, basically. Terrain trays are good for negative space when you need to go down into the table and kind of have a graphic there. Battle boards are for building in line with floors.
boom, like a terrain tray.
Non-sculpted edge too. Yeah, the edge is not sculpted. The sides of the battle boards are not sculpted.
Right. Versus like these guys, and there's no biscuit slots in the battle board. You know what you can also do with it? Just like other one, you can throw it down here. You've got your magnets, and you can magnet your terrain tray to it.
Mm-hmm.
So now your terrain tray is floor height, which is pretty neat too. Hey, another good reason to have those feet in the middle. It'll help stop that little sag.
Battle boards don't keep stuff on them from moving. Terrain trays do with magnets. The other
This
battle
is true.
boards, the other battle boards do have metal on top and are magnetized. This one's not. We weren't able to put metal in this one.
It's hilarious. The three we've already splintered the core thing.
Yep. Yeah. Our second time making battle boards, we changed dramatically what the battle boards are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm really I couldn't be more thrilled with this thing. Woo.
What does that put us on? This was one of the last pieces that we needed to see.
Yeah.
How many do we have left?
Everything is molded at this point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did the magnets not work through sculpted flooring? Yeah, exactly. There's no metal in this battle board because the texture basically made the magnetizing through that texture just wasn't working.
Too thick.
Yeah.
If anybody has like the dungeon ledges, there's a lot of extra cost because we embedded magnets inside those things so that they would stick, but they're double-sided, whatever. So they don't really, you kind of don't know there's magnets in there because they're a couple millimeters away from the surface, so they don't really grab. No. We tried with good intentions, but it was didn't work. Oh, we have. I don't know. Did we ever show the? Did we show the wizard hat roof?
The resculpt? We showed the original.
Because we have
Not a resculpt. I shouldn't call it that, but the adjustment.
Remold.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got.
Basically, we weren't happy with the first version that came back. We did see the change. Okay, we did see the change.
How? Because it didn't. Did we really already? Huh.
Are you talking about the other? They said the inside parts. It's basically just the.
Just fixing that slope here was all bulged out. Just to be clear, for covers, there's texture mats, terrain trays, battle boards, and texture battle boards. Yeah.
Yeah. Currently, that's
Also little texture patches and or just sculpted floors. Yeah. Totally clear, right?
inside change and post holes, right?
I guess we did.
Oh
show
yeah,
the
so
other
the
poles.
little spires. We showed that the little spires are
Yeah.
separate.
This thing was having was warped the back, but is working now. It's like working like a charm.
Did I just hear sculpted water incoming? No,
No.
no.
Wait, you need something to put your modular ships on? Come on.
Say, what's that terrain tray you got there?
Did we show that before?
I think we have.
This is the wood. I don't know what we called it. Wood.
Did we call it just wood floor? Or
I
rusted wood?
don't know. I don't remember. There were so many pieces. Wood floor jamboree. Boom,
So
boom.
that's stuff. I really like this new dark gray paint scheme that we decided to have them do everything in. Yeah.
Dungeon gray.
Wood floor, one word. Perfect.
Yeah, no space. Wood floor.
I want that wood in a 12 by 12 sculpted floor. I wonder if we would move enough of them, if we would sell enough of them to justify the molds. because you know that
The
piece was
tavern square.
yeah.
Whoop, that's upside down.
Wizard hat came in both colors. Am I remembering that wrong? Yes, all the
Yes.
roofs came in both colors.
Well, this is color. These are unpainted right now, so they have 0 colors. But yeah.
Wouldn't work well without post holes. I think the thing we were thinking with this one in particular is you would do the freestanding walls on top, right?
Or use it for the center of your tavern and then build around it with other floors and walls.
What's the change? So the change on the wizard hat roof was just making slight tweaks to it to make it fit in line better.
The mold, it was bulging out in the mold, so it was getting it to it was like warping and wasn't pretty, but now it's pretty, so yay. Where did the little backfill? Oh, here it is. These pieces. I can't wait until we get the big old, like the first. We're gonna have them send us downtown dockside, like
it's just been
box full of factory finish. Like it's gonna be amazing.
It's just been really nice to get these pieces in and just see like, yeah, everything is working perfectly. Like it just feels so much better than the prototypes. Seeing everything just come together.
It just clicks in. It's like it's very satisfying. Oh
man.
Well, it's you never know until the stuff's finished. There's something could go off the rails, right? You just never quite sure how it's all gonna.
Well, this campaign was pushing a lot of boundaries. We were doing a lot of stuff we hadn't done before. The biscuit system was this new thing that we were really banking on the biscuits actually working, and they do. It all works perfectly. This is the easiest we've ever had stuff like go together, and that's really nice.
And just be able to pop in like little accessories. I don't know. It's very satisfying.
It's a ridiculously robust set.
Yeah.
We're gonna see people do just wild things.
Did we ever show people? This was another. There's so many little things we've fixed along the way. This biscuit hole filler is the biscuit is now off axis, so that you can if you put it this way, let's start with the other way first. This way the beam is flush on the bottom, and then this way the beam is flush on the top. So if you want to cantilever something out, you use the flush on the top. So like if, for instance, this is a bad example, but let's say this was a lower level of my floor and I had this cantilevered out, like you could have it actually supporting, you can't see, it's too damn dark under there, but it lets it actually support something above, right? Sort of sit against the thing and give a modicum of support because it's flush to the top, or you need it flush to the bottom or want more decorative, more offset, you can do that. So little tiny bits.
Superb Mario. Yeah, we're gonna be doing Joy Dwarven painting videos.
Yes.
Probably 3 to cover everything.
Wood.
We are gonna be making those. Wood, cobblestone, roofs, I think.
Yeah. Do we need to do fieldstone?
Well, we've already got old fieldstone videos.
Okay.
I guess what we need to do is we need to look at those fieldstone videos and see, like, do these need to be updated?
Yeah. Because if we're gonna do it, might as well do the system.
That would be the time to do it. So we're gonna do those sometime over the next couple months because we don't need to have those ready until we start shipping these to people. Yeah. So we've been prioritizing other stuff.
We do need ready a bunch of unpainted pieces.
True. We also we also need to get we also need the unpainted stuff to get here.
Yeah. But it might not be crazy to do like a roundup of accessories or something too in there. Like not every single piece, but like here's a general like approach to the family of stuff.
What we should talk about is if we want to do something like the flora and fauna guide for Wildlands.
Yeah.
And just like this collects all of the like little bits. It's just that that takes time on the painters to do.
There were a lot of accessories.
It'd be something that we'd want to have them looking at it and talking about and working on now if we wanted to get it done.
It could even be broad, like there was sort of the green family of accessories, and it's like these 6 things had green to them, and this is how you kind of do the green or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be every single piece of but there's just the thematic arc. I don't know. It's good stuff to work on.
Yeah. Just based on like this is all the ivy pieces. Yeah. Like it's just like it's the same thing for all the ivy pieces. The bronze like roof ridges, all that stuff. Yeah. The elven accessories paint scheme.
The roof has 2 colors. right? The two different schemes, they each have their own approach too. So yeah, yeah. There's some stuff. Yeah. So we'll, but yes, there will be some painting videos at some point.
Fortunately, Dwarven Forge never has more than one thing going on, so they have plenty of
That's
time to
great.
get to making every single video we ask for. Yeah, we have already, before the pledge manager for this project even opened, we've been going hard on Dungeons Reforged already.
Yeah. On to the next.
And 1,000 other things like it. Yeah.
Hey, here's another little.
What's up?
Here's a fun little bonus thing. We are in the previous iteration. So the part of the casting process, they indent the bottom of these pieces, and in the case of this roof, when the sort of perimeter here was only around all the way to the far edges, so that when you put it on top of a thing like this, the raised part in the middle would be like a fulcrum, and the thing would teeter a little bit, not much, like a 1/16 of an inch or something. But so on this last pass, when they were also adjusting the top, we had them adjust the bottom, so it fills these out. So now those sit on the ends here, so you don't get a teeter, like it sits flat when it's on the roof. So it actually does the thing it's supposed to do, because it's important. But it's all these little things, right? Those are the 1,000 little things that we're trying and catch, like all the details before it goes. And I'm sure there's going to be something we missed, because there's a lot of pieces with a lot of ways to build it. We got to track all of. But
Jeffrey, if what you want is sewer magnets, you're going to be very happy. I think sewer fans in general are going to be very happy.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, don't worry, a Dwarvenite. Yeah, there we go. All right.
You beat me to it. Oh, don't
You've
worry,
got-
it's
gotta
cider.
You've got to stop.
Oh, I'm excited. All right, we're gonna.
What are we doing?
Jeffrey's segueing us.
Going into sewers? Do we have sewer stuff to show? We don't have any of the new.
These?
Oh, okay. The cobblestone. Wait, we already have the test shots for him?
Yeah.
Wait, the test shots for these came in?
This doesn't even make sense. This is some alternate reality where
I didn't even know we got these. Wait,
yeah.
Okay.
We got so hey, don't you wish you had some magnets in the bottom of your? Well, you have to pretend they're magnets because they're just holes in the bottom of pieces. But look at that.
I didn't know these were here already. We hadn't announced it yet because I was waiting on Tyler. Okay.
Well, we're waiting, but we're here and somebody asked, so
All right.
it's not official yet, but we have test shots. Like it exists.
Well, it's official that these are being ordered. This is happening.
These exist.
Basically, yeah.
Look, we got there's the only guess. Who wants to guess which one doesn't get a magnet? One. Well, I don't. The plug doesn't count.
Can I trade mine in for magnets? This is awesome.
No takes backsies.
Sorry. But hey, Commerce Demon made a very useful guide to magnetizing your existing sewers. It's not very difficult to do.
The 1x1 has it. Next guess. These aren't real.
Yeah, basically the sewer magnet plans ended up. We decided, you know what, if we're gonna do this remaster, we should go ahead and take it further. So Tyler very quickly crammed. We've been wanting to make sewers more accessible. So on top of all this, and I'll let Tyler announce the actual compositions when it's time. But he has reworked the sewers lineup to make a couple sensible packs that make every piece accessible, including those corner pieces that you all were.
These concaves were hard.
Those concaves that were hard to get. Those have been reworked into a pack that. So there's I think it's 4 packs, and it makes every piece very accessible. I'm gonna wait for him to share those compositions when they're ready. But we went over the plans. The prices are still pretty good, even with same paint. Basically, just magnets are going to be increasing the price a bit, and we needed to raise the prices anyways because of inflation. But it is all actually still staying very affordable. I was really happy with the prices on the new compositions when we got them back. I'll let him announce a lot of specifics, but basically, along with the Monster Sewer set coming with all these magnets, there's also going to be like a refreshed lineup of sewer
The
sets.
component sets will make better sense.
Yeah. So everybody who's been wanting to expand their sewers without having to get more monster sewers, hey, in a couple months we're going to be having like the whole sewers line restocked with better sets.
I can't believe it how quickly this happened. It went from like I guess the factory had a little bandwidth to fill and just jumped into it.
They just asked us. They were like, "Should we magnetize these?" It's like, yes.
Here's the best part is
Yeah.
they said they weren't gonna be able to put a magnet on the four-way, and I'm wrong. It's got, look at this.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought as Ed had guessed it, and then I flipped it over and it had a
Straight to store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Real
unbelievable.
Ret, this is going straight to store. We're gonna do a sewers.
yeah.
I don't know, re-sluiced or something.
Woof.
Sewers re-slimed.
Is there some like TMNT joke we could work
Timing
in?
sewers remastered with a restock. Yeah, it's part of a restock. I don't have the exact date on it yet. This is the next restock coming after the May one. This is an order that we were just putting through basically while we were in the middle of sci-fi, and then the factory reached out and they were like, "Can we just magnetize these?" And
Hey,
then we were
by
like,
the
"Well,
way-
we should really, yeah." And so this is all going to be in the next restock. I don't have the exact timeline on it yet, but the restock after the ones that are currently on the site is going to have this sewers lineup along with a bunch of other stuff. So yeah,
It's exciting.
yeah,
Of all the sets that needed magnets, the
sewers reflushed.
reflushed.
Second
That's
flush.
amazing. It's true. It's real.
The miniatures aren't planned. Currently, we're just focusing on the pieces.
What miniatures? What?
Sewers, turtles, or rats, turtles, and
Oh.
crocs.
Yeah.
Restocks. I think the croc is still going to be in the monster sewer set, I believe. The rats and turtles, we don't have any plans for currently.
The croc is not in the monster sewer. It was that stupid wounded rat.
Oh,
Yeah.
the wounded rat is just in the monster sewer set.
It was Stefan was like, we're gonna have a surprise in the monster sewer. It's gonna be really cool. Check it out. Where it's gonna be, everybody's gonna say, like, oh, what's the mystery surprise? I can't believe what's gonna be. And it was
A wounded rat.
this wounded rat.
Nice.
It was just marginally different. Yeah.
But I will say this should
Barely
be
anything.
like these should be landing around the time that everybody's getting Lowtown. In which case, yeah, these go great with the cobblestone stuff in Lowtown. So yeah,
These go great with everything. It's
Uh,
yeah.
smart rat would avoid getting wounded. Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Please try to keep magnets in centers and pieces. They try to when possible. There's a couple of these floors that like the sluices are so thin.
There's not enough
Yeah.
material in the center to get the magnet in the center.
Yeah.
So these are as sort of far in as they could go on these. The like floors are centered.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever
The
we
sewers
can.
is just, we haven't had any other floors that have had like this dimension. Like the sluices are very unique sculpts in that sense. So they have to magnetize them a little bit differently.
Yeah, they're really it's real thin at the bottom there.
U.S. shipping is rough. Any possible chance of a direct ship from China for future restocks to Australia or New Zealand? Unfortunately, no. We do all the restocks from the warehouse over here. Like the restocks happen months after it leaves China.
Is true.
Um,
Yeah. I forgot also that we'd even gotten these. I just, as I was grabbing the other test shots, I was like, oh yeah, these also came in with. This doesn't even make sense. Like, I've never had an idea go from like concept to reality so fast. Like it
we
doesn't
turned this
even-
around very quickly. Well, because we
Yeah.
wanted to get it in with this restock order, so it was like a rush of like, well, we need to finalize this order. Can we do all this? And yeah, like I said, like Tyler like really like turned this stuff around.
Yeah.
Burrows next. We want to do something a bit bigger with Burrows, I think.
Burrows is
Burrows
gonna be a bit-
needs more love than this. We do want to do things with Burrows for sure.
Yes.
But we think it needs a little bit more love than what we could do like this. Yeah.
Agree.
Let's see. Kree Bloodstorm painted restock. The miniatures are rough. We're working very hard on getting some of the terrain stuff that is hard to get like figured out right now. Once we get all of that sorted out, I think we will think about the miniatures more. But right now it's like we've got very pressing. There's certain set pieces that are hard to get. There are certain core pieces in some biomes that are hard to get. So we're kind of focusing on those first because terrain is just a bulk of our business, like an overwhelming majority of our business. So we have to focus on those first. But it would be nice to get those miniatures all accessible again someday.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't think we were doing sewers today. So that's that. All right, there we go.
Ivy just suggested putting them as a walkway in wildlands. It's a really good idea.
Mm,
So it's gonna-
they look kind of
right?
like brick paths.
Yeah.
You could
Follow
probably.
the green brick road.
They've got some interesting.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna do a really cool compatibility build with that because it's in
Yeah.
the same scale.
Yeah.
It's in the same scale as
The
Wildlands.
scale that everything should be, but yeah. Yeah.
So the monster sewer set just comes with a wounded rat.
Yeah.
It's probably
Big
not.
surprise.
It's
gonna
probably
be
not
amazing.
worth
Pledge
taking
now.
the. It's probably not worth taking the rat out of it, is it?
No, it would mess up the pricing.
It would cost more money to take the rat out
Yeah.
than to just leave the rat in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
It's like he's on
Untangling-
three legs and he's like
untangling the decisions of the past as we're working on the web store has been exhausting.
a mangy 1 hit point rat that's all hacked up.
Cities,
That's what
the
you
original
need.
cities compositions are the worst it ever was. Anytime we're looking through and we're like, yeah, how do we get these pieces out of here? It's such a all the compositions for KS3 are such a mess.
Yeah.
And they're so difficult to sort through. It's the sewers,
Well-
it's
It was everything was designed in support of the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Right? It was just trying to make an offer. And it was flying the plane, it was building the plane as it was flying.
yeah.
So it was, it was an adventure. They got us to where we are.
You're pot committed to the rat. We lose money
Yeah.
if we take out the rat.
Now the rat's in. We can't without the rat there would be no turtle.
I should say you lose money if we take out the rat. Like it
Yeah.
would cost that set would cost more if we made them reconfigure it to include to take out the rat.
Well,
So-
actually, if we have to put magnets in, I don't know, we might, and we got to mess with it anyway.
True. Maybe
Yeah.
it actually would. Maybe we should take the rat out, or maybe it's fine
Put
to
the
just leave
croc
the rat
in.
as a fun.
I mean,
I don't
nobody's
know.
going to complain about getting it.
I don't
if,
know.
If in a non-Kickstarter scenario, when you know what you're getting, you're not going to complain about it. When you think you're going to get a really exciting surprise, and then you get
That's-
this tiny
that's
little
fair.
hacked up wounded rat, maybe. a
That's
little
fair.
disappointing.
It's just such a weird thing to
Yeah.
have to explain to people.
Yeah.
KS1 add-ons, rounded corners sold not in multiples of 4.
A
Hey,
wounded turtle goes.
we'll be talking about Dungeons Reforged soon.
Each time
Wounded
we
turtle.
remaster the sewers, we'll put a different wounded creature. So it'll be a small wounded turtle with a
We just randomize it. You
broken
never know
sword.
which creature
Yeah.
you're getting in your set. We just come up with a bunch
blind
more
box
wounded animal
of
sculpts.
sewers.
Yeah.
A wounded goldfish. What else ends up in the sewers?
A lot.
Cockroach? Yeah.
A lot. Probably hamsters.
Hamsters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two brother plumbers.
Wounded Matt Mercer.
Wounded.
An
me.
Otyug.
That's amazing.
A wounded flump.
Yeah. Oh, don't get Alpha Stream fired up. He's like
He loves flumps. He is
he
here,
is
isn't he?
obsessed
I
with
haven't seen him.
plums.
Yeah, Alpha Stream's here.
Yeah, no, he is
Two
like
brother
he is
plumbers.
like
Wounded plumber. Ah, the wounded Italian sculpt.
hey Luigi, it is a mortal wound. They're like he's got a toilet plunger like stabbed through his abdomen. He's like what is
Oh man.
Yeah, so anyway. We could have the two-headed alligator but cut off one of the heads. So
Oh,
it's
it's wounded.
yeah.
You cut off one head and 2 more grow in its place.
Ooh, the Hydra gator.
Hydrocroc, hydralligator,
Hydralligator?
hydralligator.
Yeah. It's just
It sounds like he drinks a lot of water.
wounded sausage.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Shimmer
what's
frond's
a
got their
what's a
Shambler frond.
what's a giveaway word?
Shambler frond.
It's not from Mario's voice. I know he sounds like Chris Pratt. God, for Halloween last year, I went as Chris Pratt's Mario. I was just like, hey, it's me, Mario. Okay,
That
yeah.
was the bit.
What's a giveaway word? Hey, Otyug. We're gonna make people spell Otyug.
Oh,
Crocodouble.
triple croc.
Gatorator. Mutilated Mercer. I'm afraid of making that the giveaway word and having that get back
Eels.
to him. Eels. Rats. Sluice.
Didn't we do sluice recently as a word?
I have no idea. We need to make a little black and white sitcom ad for the sewers where it's I love Sluicy.
Woof.
And it's just like,
All right, there it is.
We
I
gotta
love
do that.
Sluicy.
I love
One
Sluicy.
word.
I know that's too much. Crapodile,
Injured
cantilever,
Hampton-
crapodile. Wow, we got 2 crapodiles. All right, I guess we're doing crapodile. That got more votes.
Woof.
This is 2 crapodile. That's fine. It's fine. You want a chance to win $50 Dwarven Forge gift card? Type Crapodile
Booger
in chat. It's spelled exactly how you think it would be. We'll roll that in 10 minutes.
Woof.
Anybody just joining the stream now, you're going to be extremely confused.
Yeah.
If you had any questions or anything important to say, wait until people stop typing Crapodile in chat. Sounds like a Crash Bandicoot. It sounds like a Crash Bandicoot character.
It's a villain from Crash.
A villain from Crash Bandicoot. Well, it doesn't start with an N. Is the problem?
They all start with N's.
Not like every villain, but like a big thing is it's like, it's like a big thing with Crash for some reason is just using N and then like some kind of puns of like Insanity and stuff like that.
Huh.
There's a lot of N's in Crash Bandicoot, and I don't know that there's a real explanation for it. Yeah. Don't touch that crapodile. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and do that. What else do we have to? Is it just Dungeons Reforged left?
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Is there any other? Okay, we can't ask for questions because
They're gonna be done typing the stuff in soon.
Yeah. Did you guys finish yet?
Now who stops and yeah. So I think we're probably good.
Think is a great name.
Yeah.
Kodiak.
There was somebody who said something that made me think of. Oh, they were talking about the rounded corners from KS1, talking about those being hard to get. The classic rounded corners.
Guess what?
Hey, they're still hard to get.
Yes.
It's not, no,
But not come September.
Not come September.
Yeah. Buckle up.
Dungeons Reforged is covering a lot of ground. It's
Covering a lot
nice.
of tables.
We've been working on the compositions for Dungeons Reforged.
So
week.
Anybody here in Wildlands Reforged?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody know what that was? So we're doing the same thing with Dungeons. So we're going back in. The idea is some of those sets haven't been touched since KS1. Some of those pieces haven't been touched since KS1. Some of those haven't been touched since Dungeon of Doom. It's been somewhere between 7 and 10 years. So we're going back. We're looking at all the sets. We're reconfiguring sets that don't make sense. We're gathering stuff up into compositions that can get you the pieces you want more easily. We're rounding up the chase pieces from Dungeon of Doom. We're remastering or resculpting some of the older pieces. So like the pool, the pool from the Chamber of Sorrows in KS1. We're throwing a magnet in there, getting that thing out. That curved wall corner, resculpting the edges on that so it matches the edges of the more modern dungeon bits. Throw a magnet in that thing. New diagonal, classic diagonal wall, because the other one was terribly sized. It was too short. What do we got? The couple of new little accessories. Remastered the secret door from scratch. Like Toby worked out like a really nice, so it's beveled and angled so it closes so you can't actually see the thing. Maybe a couple of surprises. I don't know. Maybe work on some new terrain trays or texture mat or something. Or I don't know. We got a few things brewing, but it's Tyler's up to like 50 something sets, and Chris and I just like did a really spicy one today. That should be a huge crowd pleaser. Rounded up some stuff that was hard to get from a couple of things into this is gonna be like the hot pick.
Well, the fun thing about it too is it's pulling pieces from multiple campaigns and biomes, like stuff where it's like, what if we just pull this thing from Castles and this thing from Caverns Deep and this thing from, and like put it together into like a cool themed pack.
Yeah, it's
we're going a little bit outside of just the initial scope, just because it is a different.
It's
a different beast. And we're seeing like what is good for this project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Each biome gets what it deserves, and this one's getting a little extra love because hey, it's dungeons, and it hasn't been visited in quite a long time. And the goal is, if you're new, it's gonna be a fantastic time to get in and get dungeons. If you're not new, there's gonna be stuff that's new. Or there's going to be some stuff that's new, and there's going to be some stuff that was really hard to get, but it hasn't been reprinted or whatever. Like some of those chase pieces in Dungeon of Doom and stuff so there'll be stuff that will be new to you. So it's going to be, there should be something for everybody, as well as some table coverage options, and I don't know. We're still poking at it. Goal is to launch sometime in September, which probably means September 31st, right? Knowing us, like.
Well, we'll see. I mean, looking Looking at
there's
things.
still a bunch. To
Yeah. Game found. Yeah. Plan is for it to be a game found campaign.
What are the main biomes?
The three biomes. I would say the three biomes for dungeons. Standard, vaulted, and Forsaken Temple. But we're not. I don't think we're doing Forsaken Temple in
Currently,
Dungeons
it's not in the lineup, but I don't know.
Because Forsaken Temple is just a couple sets, and we recently restocked and got those back in the store.
Almost everything has been.
Yeah, and so we're looking at it. And it's like we don't really need to do those. We're focusing on other things that are currently not done. Passages are being reworked. Like the set compositions are being reworked to like be very sensible, and that'll get the dungeon passages
Everything that
back.
doesn't make sense is being reworked. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of, and sort of the general groupings are core sets, building sets. So that would be like diagonal wall pack and stuff, floor pack and whatnot. There's passages, there's accessories, there's like, I don't know what we call the specialty, like the LED bits. I can't remember. There's a bunch of different categories, but it's like, I mean, it's literally like 50 pieces without 50 sets or so without the unpainted, right? Just doing the sets alone. What was the line you said?
Like effects pieces or
Yeah, I don't remember I don't know. Tyler's still sorting the categories, I think, but there's a lot. Like it's rounding up everything.
We're also we're gonna include some things. We're gonna include sets that like the core sets that have been in like well in stock and that you've probably got a lot of. We are going to include in the campaign as well because we want it to be a kind of one-stop shop for anybody who is just getting into Dwarven Forge for the first time. If they're doing dungeons, it's like we don't want you to have to go get your core sets off of the store and then come here for the specialty stuff. So we are planning to just go ahead and because we also know those core sets, like it's fine if we overstock them right now. We know they're going to sell. It's like the backbone of the line. Yeah. Estimated mega pack price, we're so far away from that. Yeah, we're so far away from having that right now.
You know what we do have though?
Yeah.
We have this is Tyler put together the ultimate crowd pleaser pack. The what do you call it? I think the Golem Guardians pack. So it's 2 of the Gorgon statues, 2 of the Golem walls with the wall, the static golem, the animated golem. So 2 each. So it's like the ultimate. You get all your construct killers in one place. It's gonna be killer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's been nice. It's been fun seeing people's requests and seeing like, okay, we got that covered. I think honestly, everything I've seen people bring up, I feel like we've got a plan for outside of the stuff that is asking us to like sculpt a lot of new things because we're only doing a couple new sculpts this time around. We need to keep the. They're
all done currently. Like that stuff was done before Starforge.
A lot of them are pieces we've been wanting to do for a while. Like a lot of this dungeon stuff is stuff that we were like, we really got to do this at some point. It's why there's no getting started with dungeons video. Is we were always like, well, we need to hold on to this until we do these new core sets, which has been literally something we wanted to do for like over 2 years.
We're not gonna do so. Dragos is asking if we do big chunky passages and stuff. Not currently in this. We'd have to go back and do a new dungeons campaign to do some big.
Yeah, it's outside. It's outside the scope of this campaign. It's too many. It's too many new sculpts to do for this.
Those I don't know if those cool old resin passage pieces. They'd be really expensive to do in Dwarvenite. The molds. I don't know if it makes sense, but they were fun. Those big, just so you just drop down.
Do the 2-sided passage / foundation walls show up anywhere? What are the 2-sided passage or foundation walls? What are those?
Are they the passage walls? What do you mean by 2-sided? Foundation. Oh, the narrow passages from original KS1. I forgot about those. We repainted them in cities to be walls for castles. Hang on, I gotta make a list of Tyler things because I'm gonna forget. What was the other thing?
Is it the narrow dungeon passage pack? Oh,
yeah.
These.
I forgot about those.
Okay.
Those do a thing nothing else does. That's a good.
Man, yeah, this is a very different. These are very different than the passages we currently have. I can't remember if they're in the plans or not currently. The ones you send a big box.
This is why we do this show. People catch something that goes through the.
How about Y passages from KS2? Not from KS2. That's a different biome.
No, the dungeon passages were done in KS2, I believe.
They were?
Yeah.
These ones say one. Well, the SKUs might also be messed up. Here, let me.
Typo narrow passages. Great question about the narrow dungeon.
They were made in KS2, but are for dungeons. Why? Okay. He did weird things back then. We still do weird things occasionally.
Only
but
once a week.
it's.
What was the other thing to tell Tyler?
I don't know.
Darn, I already forgot the battleboard typo.
In the paint.
Oh, the dead rat.
Oh yeah, should we take the dead rat out of
Yeah, if we're messing with sewers, do we
take the dead rat out, or is it just not worth it? Yeah.
Oh.
Any chance the burrows come in under the next Reforged umbrella? Currently unclear if we are going to. So they're not going to be in Dungeons Reforged.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I really want to do new pieces. If we're gonna go back in with burrows, I want to make that set really shine. And it's just slightly larger than a Reforged scope. Like, we tried to not do new pieces in the Reforged, so it feels like it kind of wants to be its own small project. Like, I mean, we could just slap Magnetron and call it, but I feel like.
Here's the thing. I think the scope shifts. I mean, there were no new sculpts in Wildlands Reforged, and I think overall, like Burrows, it's a much smaller number of sets than what we've currently got here. So it's just a different. I feel like Reforged kind of shifts based on the needs of the biome.
I guess thinking if we're gonna do another Reforged in the near future, I don't know if we have the sculpting bandwidth, because I think we need to be on the whatever the next big thing is. And
one thing I do think would be nice.
Like, I don't think Burrows takes more energy. Like, I think it's going to take more bandwidth than we've got.
The other thing too, when I was looking back through stuff,
because we want to make it awesome. Like, we're with you.
When I was looking back through stuff, it's also just noticing Burrows just didn't get a very fair shake. It wasn't really talked about all that much, and it was kind of this side thing that was in KS5.
Well, that's why it got lost a little bit. Because it was like.
And when I checked like the channel, like we didn't really make any videos about like how to use it. Really, it was like there was the walkthrough of the encounter, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it really, as a system, got kind of. It's a very cool system that didn't get highlighted enough, I think.
Sub-theme syndrome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it's I don't know. We really need to do something with Burrows. I think it's very cool, and I think if we actually take the time to show people what they do, because we get a lot of comments that are like, I don't know, these seem too narrow, claustrophobic to like work well, and it's like, well, that's the point. Like, it's the And I think if we actually go in and like show how you build with them and like what kind of encounters you can use them for, I think there is a lot of value. They would benefit from having more variety to the sculpts and having some of that stuff. But
that's the hard part with organic. I mean, that's why Caverns has so many sculpts. Someone was asking, because Amy was asking about the Dungeon Dry Brush color. It's on the list too. Dungeon Dry Brush. That was somebody flagged it down here also, so we got that one in the queue.
Suffered from way too much offered, and it was such a side thing too. It was the kind of thing that people were like, well, I'll just get that in the store.
Well,
and then we didn't put enough in the store because not enough people bought it.
We had all of Dungeon of Doom, which included not just all the dungeon stuff, but also the Forsaken Temple. Oh, and let's throw in a limited edition Forsaken Temple in Jade. Oh, also, let's throw in a limited edition White Marble dungeon. So then people are like, well, I got to get the limited edition stuff, and I got to get all this dungeon stuff. And then so by the time you get to Burrows, it's like, well, I don't think I have room for that left. Yeah, White Marble Burrows.
Jade eggs.
It would have sold off the. It would have.
Yeah. Getting ahead of it now, we are not doing Jade or White Marble in this campaign. Because we said we wouldn't do them again.
I don't think we will ever do. I don't know. Who knows what could happen? But like, I don't think we'll ever do more Jade, and we're never going to do those same pieces in White Marble or Jade. And here's the thing, we could maybe do some new pieces in White Marble, but then we're not doing the old ones again, right? We said there was exclusive campaign. So then, like, if you buy into the new one, you don't have all the, like, those are the key pieces to make it work. So it's like, I don't know. Here's the thing: doing limited Kickstarter exclusive limited stuff is stupid. We're not doing that anymore. Like, it is not a good plan for the future.
A mini Transitions Reforged that was just the transition pieces between biomes. Unfortunately, we can't really do that as a project because it's not a complete offer. If we're just selling transitions, it's like we wouldn't get the numbers that we would need to make that campaign work, which is why transitions are so messy in the first place. Is they are a transition is a piece that does one specific thing, and so it's just like it's not very flexible, and it's really nice to have if you need it, but it's very difficult to move large numbers of it.
It's a fun thing to do
Yeah.
at the tail end of each campaign. Like do it in that. Okay, we finished dungeons, or we did caverns and previous with dungeons. It's like, oh, you know what, we're gonna do the cavern to dungeon transition and connect back to the previous Kickstarter,
Yeah.
and that's it. And but yeah,
I'm gonna roll this giveaway real quick.
I do. I love transitions because it's really fun to connect, like have it feel like the whole world is seamlessly connected in a really pleasing way. And there were some really neat ones in resin, but all the things that Chris laid out are some of the reasons it's tough.
It's an issue as a product that we're trying to move.
Who won?
Basically.
Who won?
Zaf.
Zaf,
long time supporter, and first time winner.
Yay! The some of the clever transitions are one-sided ones. So like I can't think of a good example. What's a door?
What's a what?
Like the it's not a great example, but like the breached wall in the dungeon that's just a dungeon wall with a giant hole in it. That can
really cool
transition
piece.
you into caverns, it can transition you into burrows, it can transition you into something like it's a sort of agnostic transition that's sort of saying, okay, we're leaving the dungeon, but you can go
really cool concept.
to anything.
That big double door sculpt for Hellscape like works for that too. You can put that at like as the entrance, like you're coming out of like regular cavern and you hit that, it's like you go through there, like everything is Hellscape. It's very thematically makes a lot of sense.
The cave entrance from the original Dread Hollow Forest is a pretty good one because even though it is directly like a caverns, it's sculpted to be caverns there, you can kind of have it connect to anything. Like it's just like a hole in the ground that goes anywhere. Like what is that?
Speaking of which, oh wait, no, that's not the exact piece that we used for the stretch goal video, but it's for the sci-fi video that we just did. We used what did we use for that? We used the escarpment cutout.
For what?
We transitioned through.
Oh, it was literally just
hallway.
I
can't remember what it was.
Cutout would have been better. It was just a floor. It was just a mountain floor and two escarpments just slammed together. Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't even a fancy piece. It was just.
But you could do that with the cave transition, like that could transition into
you could put a
sci-fi base inside
in
a
there.
mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, you could put a dungeon in there. You could put anything in there. So it is neat. Yeah.
The breach dungeon wall is just a very cool sculpt.
Yeah.
It's very evocative.
Yeah. And you can go anywhere from there. Like it tells a story, right? What broke this open? Like what's going on? Latrine sewer transition.
But yeah, that's the tough thing with transition pieces in general is, we'd have to be able to move like
a bunch.
Like to make a piece like that, we'd have to be able to move like well over 1,000 of them. And that's the difficult thing, is if it's a very niche piece, those are just always the hardest ones to move.
Well, like stuff that transitions specific, like caverns paint, like going from Underdoom to regular, like that's such a very specific one. Versus the cave entrance. What do we call it? The cave mouth from Wildlands. Like that thing can go anywhere. So it's like and it's also universal, right? There's always a reason to have a tunnel going somewhere. Like you're gonna use it all the time.
Even with alt paint schemes, alt paint schemes don't cut our MOQ down, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
We would need to still hit the MOQ, even if it's the same sculpt being painted different ways. It does not like let us split the MOQ up between those three things. We need to then make 3 times as many pieces. Yep. It's another reason why doing a bunch of alt paint schemes is very difficult. It doubles basically the amount of pieces we need to make, and if we're then moving less of those pieces,
and need to pre-order and That's a good question. The transitions topic is a good one.
Yeah.
That's why I love doing this show.
Crystal Caverns restock. Crystal Caverns will be coming very soon. We've been getting some replacements after the paint issues. So Crystal Caverns will be back in stock very soon.
Yes.
Let's see. Use that breach dungeon wall everywhere. It's very good. I saw something else.
The ancients.
Any chance for a regular restock of the Caverns transition pieces? We've got bigger fish currently, but eventually we will try bringing some transition pieces back. Yeah, it's not a thing we can do as like a campaign. It would be something we would just restock
just-
to the store.
They're just neat,
Yeah.
though. Like, there's a very satisfying thing when you go from snow to regular, and it does this like is cool.
CRU Crystal Caverns and Ice is something we want to do. I gotta ask Hamster and Aaron to just do that when they have time. It's similar to like when we did the banks and the other paint schemes. Is we just gotta kind of have them do it and get the paint master sent off so we can
Oh.
get it okayed with the factory.
Yeah, do you think people would buy them?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
of course.
The
Everybody buys
wildest
Crystal
thing,
Caverns,
the
like-
wildest thing is that Ice is the biome that had the runic columns in it, and those runic columns go so well with Crystal Caverns.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's the only place you couldn't get crystals
go figure.
unless you do it custom.
No.
Yeah. What else do we have to cover? Is there anything else?
what else
Is there anything else about
Reforged?
Dungeons Reforged we haven't covered yet?
Mm,
We will be making a number of videos with it. We're going to redo some of the painting videos. We're going
all of
to...
it. Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, this would be the time to make that dungeon dry brush color
Yep.
as part of Reforged.
Part of the paint videos. Getting started with dungeons, dungeon building.
Where are those natural runic columns? We gotta, the plain cavern, we gotta restock that as well.
Did
The
those
ice
already
ones
sell
did
out?
pretty well. Well, the ice ones did pretty well. We didn't restock the standard.
Got it.
We just did ice paint scheme because it was the initial one. More unpainted stock with upcoming restocks. It feels like it's been selling out faster than painted again lately. Depends on the piece. I think we are getting more unpainted people the last couple years. It's a tough call to make because yeah.
Well, it's still the majority of people are buying painted, right?
It's still an overwhelming majority.
It might have
but-
gone from 80% painted to 75% painted or something. But it's still like a significant
Yeah.
majority. So yeah, not everybody is brave enough to just go dive in and paint a whole bunch of stuff. It's intimidating to look at. Also, it turns out it takes a bunch of time. Yeah.
Any possible chance for a sandstone alt paint scheme on Reforged?
Not currently, but hey, Wargaming Recon's here.
Yeah, in alt paint, especially if it's something that's on like all the core pieces.
Yeah,
That's a
too-
lot of additional sets.
Well, it's
It's a
like
lot of
50
additional paint
sets.
masters. Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah. There's a lot of pieces in Dungeons too. Like, is there? There's a lot of bits. Oh.
Let's see.
Oh, here's what okay, Finley's got a suggestion for transition pieces. Make them a slightly wavy profile along a center line. So they're like 4x2 or 6x2. However, just one piece per biome in the set. Have these pieces biscuit together so you can configure them for the two biomes you want to merge.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like yin and yang thing, and you kind of merge them together. It's kind of neat.
I think the tough thing with the unpainted stock too is whether like the percentage that we can't always predict like what the percentage is. Some of the sets nobody gets unpainted. Some of them are more common unpainted than painted, and it's just hard to predict a lot of that ahead of time. The wavy, yeah, the like trifecta transition pieces is something that's come up as well. It just seems like a real feat of engineering. We'd have to like figure that out.
Trifecta transitions?
The thing that basically Finley was talking about, where
if you
it's
can say, yeah.
yeah.
Well, and also that, I mean, in an organic situation, like if you're going from wilderness into caverns, like you want, if it's forest, you want that greenery to like peter out and like, for it to really feel like an effective transition, you want
the other
a really nice blend between the two over that course of thing. Like it doesn't want to be a hard line, right? It wants to have a gentle.
The other issue
thing.
is differences in scale, and then things like
Oh, yeah.
wildlands being on a 3x3 footprint, and a lot of other things being on a 2x2.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it'd be a very complicated project. It'd be very cool if we pulled it off. It'd be very complicated.
I mean, the key is just do a couple or one each campaign, like chip away at them. It's, it is the transitions and ruins are the things that always get like kicked to the back of the, back of the list for whatever reason. It does come up though on a regular, we're like, well, what if we have a transition to this? And well, what would you rather have? All transitions are all ruins.
The runes are much more important.
Exactly.
We really
They
gotta.
still get knocked out. Yeah.
We are the dungeon runes we're planning to include in Reforged, yeah? Or is that pack already fine? So
Pack is
we're just
fine
restocking it?
currently.
It's being restocked. It's the next restock. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're keeping those runes around. Yeah, we don't need to include it because it's already taken care of. Right.
It's we could
Runes go in any terrain. Oh yeah,
if
one of
we
my
needed
favorite.
to add if we needed to add more stuff to the offer or something, we could bring in the runes.
One of my favorite compatibility builds we
I'd
ever
love to do
did
more.
was that Swamp Dungeon Runes compatibility that we did for I think the Getting Started with Swamps video.
Red Rot Rune? No, getting started with swamps.
In the Getting Started with Swamps video, we did one of the sample builds we did was we had like a swamp island that was built
Oh!
around dungeon ruins.
And
Yeah.
I feel we added the runes like it was, hey, here's like a little build. Oh, you want to make this cooler?
Mhm.
Bop, 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 bop. Check out these ruins. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
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 That was a fun. That was a real fun.
It's one of the cooler. It was a very unconventional mixture.
Those were some fun. Those were some fun builds.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're fun videos to make. It was.
Yeah.
They were long. I worry about these things just getting longer and longer. But as we get into more complicated pieces, do we just have to show more? Like, that's the complicated thing.
I mean, I think the key is to just inspire people. Like those like the gag there was like saying, hey, here's a way you can build, and then also here's a way you can combine stuff, and like just show people different things to spark their ideas. But it's a lot to show. The more gangsters we have, the more stuff there is to show. The more pieces. I don't know. It's I mean, that's a question in general. Like, are our videos too long? Are they, because they're long, do you hesitate to watch them? Like, I think they're the right amount of content for what they are, but the question is it too long? Like, do you not want to watch them because they're long? And is it, I don't know how you'd break them into smaller things, but yeah. Oh.
Runes as a campaign, great way to reach out to wargamers. Man,
Watch it double speed.
I mean, we could do a rune set just out of these Starforged core pieces.
Oh.
And I think that would be extremely cool.
Well, we literally said no to runes because we wanted to do, like, battle damage was going to be, like, easily more than double the number of pieces, because it was like, well, if we really got to do it, we got to do this, and you have a melted hole in a thing, and this is not, like, just, you kind of need two variations on the straight, and it was like, there was a lot of, like, we could, battle damage, particularly, like, sci-fi runes would be, like, oh, it'd be so cool. There's so much, like, God, it looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are we really? I guess Lowtown, like wood building runes and Starforged runes are the two that it really feels like we could use them, and they just don't exist. We've got the Dungeon Runes set, which works pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Fieldstone and Tudor runes; they work pretty well. We've got Castle runes that work pretty well. We just need to get them in stock.
Well, they also need castle ruins, need battlements or crenellations. It's not quite. It's a tease. It's not quite enough pieces. You need ruined 4-inch towers and some ruined battlements or crenellations. It's close, but it's not quite. What's nuts is we even sculpted a couple of those. There were some ruined battlements sculpted. I don't know where they are. It's every time I play the ruins, I'm always frustrated. I'm like, it's just a couple more. Like the Tudor and Fieldstone just need a couple more pieces to really shine. The one of those. You want to hear a great old Dwarven Forge secret? When we were doing the Fieldstone ruins, it was at the tail end. It was right near the tail end of, I don't know, Stefano's all tired out and everything, whatever. And so I just mocked, I took a regular wall with this regular fieldstone wall with the scroll saw, and I just cut up the wall with a scroll saw, and did it a couple of times until we got something that worked. I'm like, all right, just pour one of these in clay and just cut along these lines. You'll have a thing. And then the fieldstone corner, was just the original fieldstone dungeon ruins from resin. It's the original corner with just one rock cut off, so it would fit into thing. Once again, also cut off on the scroll saw, not unsculpted. And then what was the other one? There was some, but it was just like, in order to get it through, I'm like, listen, we just need these last 2 pieces to like just to have a half of a set. Like, here's what we're gonna do, and we're just gonna cast that thing and whatever. So yeah, that one. If anybody has the original Dungeon Fieldstone ruins, look at that corner. The Dwarvenite Fieldstone ruins corner is the same corner minus one rock. But yeah, I'm just saying you can make your own ruins. It's true. You can chop these pieces up. Anybody ever seen me chop a piece up? You can do it. It really.
The days, the days when you were doing these streams from your home, power tools came out a lot.
A lot more. Well, I mean, it was right there. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like when you're carrying a hammer around, everything looks like it needs to get sawed. As it were.
Do we have anything else to?
I don't
cover?
know. Yeah, let's get out of here. What else? Does anybody else have any?
Are there any other
questions about
Dungeons Reforged?
Anything
or
else we need to
Starforged?
cover in Dungeons Reforged?
Oh, there was.
We got some good notes. Like there's some people brought some good bits up.
There was a question. Kenshi Dark asked, did Starforged meet expectations to possibly do a second campaign in the future?
The what?
Did Starforged meet expectations to do a second campaign?
I guess it depends who you ask. Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to do more. I guess it's fundamentally we need. I think it's the timeline. It's not going to be a front burner. The way if it had attracted more people, right? So the people are more important than the amount of money, and it's not over it. We could get Pledge Manager could significantly up our count of backers, or maybe it doesn't move or whatever. We'll see what happens, but that's the goal is people, right? We need people and new people to make it a thing. That's our chasing new folks. So we'll see. But yeah, we got it. I mean, everybody here loves the Starforged stuff. Is so fun.
Yes.
So fun. And when you guys get to build with it, you're gonna lose your minds.
That's another thing too. Is also what happens when it hits the store.
Yeah.
And once this is out on people's tables, is also a huge thing. We're planning to keep advertising and doing things to be pushing late pledges during the campaign and keep things going.
Yes.
Because like GameFound's Pledge Manager just like let people walk in and join the project if they want, which when we were on Pledge Manager before, it was a whole complicated process where they had to email us and it was a whole
invite
and we weren't advertising the Pledge Manager ever in past campaigns or anything like that. So we're hoping to still have a life for this project during the Pledge Manager phase.
Yes.
Yeah. Fallout themed sets planned. I may be painting up a bunch of. I mean, we have Fallout themed sets. Combine the catwalks and pipelines with the low town wood buildings, and that's Fallout. $1 million on GameFound for an alternate set though is huge. That's the thing.
Huge.
Like
it's just not enough people. But yes, the money was really good. Like people pledged a lot.
Yes. Yeah. The average pledge was a lot higher than we thought it would be. When you consider like the amount of sculpts it has compared to like Cult, we think the set works. What are we doing?
I was asking if Cult is still on target for shipping.
Yes.
Answer is yes.
Yeah, still on track to ship in August.
It's on track until it's not.
All the pieces are molded, so we're done with molds. And it is just are all the paint masters done? No, we're still waiting on a couple paint masters.
And just lots of casting, painting, packing, shipping.
And they are casting and painting pieces that are already approved. Oh, yeah. Like while this is going on.
They've been casting since January or December.
They just have to make a lot of stuff.
A lot. Like tens of thousands of some of these things. Like a lot. But it's getting the stuff on the water is the big mystery, right? Like that's the one I always hold my breath on. Like
Dungeons
know what's
Reforged delivery. Dungeons Reforged will deliver early 2025 is really all we can say currently.
conceptually.
Conceptually, yeah.
I mean, it depends on when
That's
we
all we can
launch
really
it.
say.
Depends on if we have who. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's as specific as we can get with it currently.
Yep.
Will there be any large statue pieces in Dungeons Reforged? No plans for
Not
anything
currently.
additional like that. The additional scopes that we're adding are fairly small things. That, yeah, just they're fairly small things.
Wildlands Reforged shipped early, so
Yeah.
we got that in.
It shipped a month
well.
early.
Yeah.
See.
Dungeons Reforged and Sci-Fi could deliver around the same time conceptually.
In theory, yeah.
Yeah. That would be wild.
Because the thing is, like, you know, Dungeons Reforged is going to need a couple new molds, but not many. It's going to come down to like, it's going to come down to casting numbers, and it's, you know, we're not going to need them to do as many test shots or paint samples as the main thing with Dungeons Reforged.
Huh? That's gonna be a real. They are really gonna be on a crash course for time. Like
They're gonna be very close together.
it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it'll be a race.
Yeah, that's basically where we're at.
These are good questions.
Yeah,
Good.
I think
good note.
I think that's basically all we got. I can't think of it unless there's other questions.
I don't know.
When will the Starfoods spacesuits hit the store?
If
We
they're
didn't make
still-
those.
yeah.
Those were knockoff. Did we get them off of Amazon? I don't know where we got them. Those suits were wild. They said things like just superhero on like patches. Yeah, as two separate words. And the guy in a spacesuit is like superhero.
There was one
stuff
said
like that.
number one or something, right? It said like
Yeah.
or hero number one or something like.
Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, it's
So good.
it's just cheap knockoff products, you know.
Yeah, classic astronauts say hero
Classic
number one on the
astronauts.
side. Yeah, I love it.
Cult, Sewers, Dungeons Reforged, Starforged, Hightown. Sewers will probably arrive during Lowtown shipping. It's just gonna be part of the restock. It didn't involve any new molds or anything. We already have the test shots for the magnet versions. And then Dungeons and Starforge are gonna be somewhere around the same time. For shipping probably, but we won't know for sure until we get closer to it. How are you going to number parts going forward now that we've already covered the 900 series part numbers? Are we going to get Wildlands 1001? Oh, God, I have no idea.
This is the kind of stuff that keeps Tyler up at night.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, because some of the past SKUs make no sense.
DL1.
Yeah.
Like DR1. Yeah. No. I'm sure I have no fear that Tyler will have figured some very logical SKUs that make sense.
Sounds like a problem for another person.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a problem that's not mine.
Yeah.
And there's no bearing on like anything. Like,
sounds like somebody else.
has anybody ever complained like has a bad SKU ever affected your enjoyment at Dwarven Forge? Cases like that a good old DR1, the original Kickstarter door.
Yeah. What about if it said battle board instead of battle board on the bottom of a piece?
Throw it out. Send it back. Just ship it back to us.
That's worse than a misaligned grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Wait,
All
see,
right.
the difference is we can actually fix that. We can't fix the misaligned
Your
grid.
cities and castles part numbers make me cry. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the height of just nonsensical decisions for the future of the product.
Yeah.
Like the compositions were wacky. The SKUs were unbelievable. Like
board.
Yeah. Cities and castles was the height of like how are we gonna keep this going?
Castles was that was a hard. I was making compositions while we were live. Basically, like while we were at what was the festival? We were at South by Southwest.
Yeah, you went to South by Southwest during that campaign.
We premiered a film in the middle of the campaign while trying to figure out how to put battlements on it. Yeah, it was like that was a tough run.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we launched the thing before I'd figured out the system. Like we didn't know, like
that was ultimately
hadn't figured out how to build the castles.
That was ultimately why we ended up pushing Lowtown back, because we were like we were afraid of putting ourselves in another castle situation.
Yeah.
If we rushed the thing to like hit this deadline that we had set, versus taking a couple more months to just make sure it was all solid. Will there be any new lighting options with Dungeons Reforged? No new special effects pieces. There's going to be sets that include LEDs. Some of the reconfigurations we're doing are like, hey, these LEDs are really hard to get.
Yeah.
So some of the LEDs that have been hard to get will be
Lots of-
newly available in Reforged.
Lots of stuff that was hard to get. Like you can just round it up like from really
There's
good logical.
there's a couple of sets where I'm like, this is gonna be for the people who have like big dungeon collections already, and they're always like, I just can never get this thing. There's gonna be sets that are gonna make you want to come in.
Yeah.
Do the Dungeons Reforged include catacombs? No, that
No.
is too big of a sculpt count increase
Okay.
for this project.
Catacombs needs special love and care. Like that
Although,
is
if
the
what you're
thing.
wanting,
That is
if what you're wanting is the ability to make your dungeons look like catacombs, we may have figured something out.
little something,
A little something.
I'm not-
There's gonna be something for you.
Yeah.
Bring back Green Demon Face for 50th year of D&D.
Yeah, Green
Oh,
Demon
yeah.
Door will be back.
2 years ago, you
Sounds
mentioned an
good.
all LED pack, like the one that has the cities and castles LEDs and a
Mm.
pack of 20 or something. Is that still in the cards?
It isn't, but it's worth. Yeah, there. It's a good thing to revisit. We haven't done it since that castle.
We've been trying. There's been a couple like LED wall pieces that are also hard to get that were like we can include this with some of those LEDs that have been hard to get.
Yeah.
Um,
That one,
yeah.
the castle one, was just the elements. So like you
Yeah.
could. It was a whole variety pack of the little elements. It was kind of neat.
and there is like, something nice about those packs. You just gotta see how it all goes together. At the end of the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the end of the day.
Yeah.
It is the end of the day.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody hanging out, joining us. Lots of good notes, lots of good questions, lots of good excitement. Maybe even a good joke somewhere in there. I don't know.
Probably not.
Battle boards,
Not
spelled
knowing us.
BORED. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the stuff that keeps me up at night. We'll be back. So what's he? Tomorrow night. Hobby hanging. Do you know what's
Yeah, he's hobby hanging. He finished The Witch King of Angmar. I don't know what he's working on now. It's not going to be. I know what he's painting tonight. He's painting something tonight for a shoot they're doing tomorrow, but I don't know. I don't know what he's working on
Can
tomorrow.
anybody guess what we'd be shooting tomorrow based on the date?
All right, let's get out of here.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see
Bye.
you next week.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
Reflushed.
Reflushed.
It's just the last little.
Yeah, just
They
gotta
drug us.
just gotta get that in under the wire. Yeah, everybody's doing it. All right.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
guys.